Go on, say your piece of what you wanted to capture on this podcast.
Because you said that Elliot and I are anti-joy, and that's not true.
Why did I say
joy.
that you and Elliot are anti-joy?
Because we're confused by the sudden and forced acceptance of sports in this home.
Forced acceptance is crazy. What do you mean?
I mean that
Viditya and Rowan have been held back by the pair of you, and then when I finally joined the house, the breath of fresh air that those two had, they were like, oh my god, we can actually be ourselves. We've been stifled for so long.
Yes,
so
Vinny Ivaletti was just brimming with the need for sports. That man went, I would like to be into sports, and now is on
and now we have the VNL because I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
We have now the VNL, the Volleyball Nations League subscription. We watch it. Like we watched a couple games yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch the opening game. We watched a couple games today. Rowan was very excited that there was sport happening in the house as well, because she has also been suffocated by Dillin and Elliot. These two
revisionist history about everybody being
because
into sports.
What do you mean? They have always been into sports. They have just been too scared to show it because you two are in the house, and I have seen in our volleyball chat that we have a Discord server for it. Viddy's like, Elliot walked past and said something derogatory about me. Me watching volleyball. And it's like, yeah, I know that would happen because they don't want you to have fun.
Oh, sure. That's what it is. We did say that Elliot and I are like your parents that you've come out to who are accepting but are
doing weird homophobic comments.
Don't get it. It's like no, it's fine that this is what you're into. I don't want to go to the parades. You know,
yeah.
Well,
it's a little more than that, because the note that I got yesterday was that great game, by the way. It was Serbia versus the Dominican Republic yesterday.
I've heard all about it.
Holy shit. Outstanding game. Best game yesterday by like a fucking margin. We were all getting super hyped about it. We were on text, we weren't on call. Viddy cheered and clapped, and then Elliot walked past, according to Viddy, and then said, "They can't hear you, you know."
Yeah.
Which is
what are you clapping for? They can't hear you.
Which is so interesting for someone who, when I put on Marble Racing to soft launch the fact that we're going to be getting it, I'm making the house a sport house. Elliot was.
By the way, that is the origin of this. Is Marble Racing is how?
No, actually, that's not true. That's fully not true. The origin is that me and Viditya would talk about Haikyuu when I was in Canada. Till early hours of the morning, and then we made a fictional sport, and Viddy was like, I want to just get more into sports. And it's like, then let's get into some more sports. Let's get the VNL pass. And again, going back to my original thing, big talk, considering when I put on Marble Racing, Elliot was stood and cheering when his
Marble Racing is fun and good. That's the thing.
It is.
Marble Racing is fun and good.
Yeah, it is fun and good. It's wonderful. Volleyball are people and humans with stories that have tried really hard to get where they are, and they're performing now, actually. So if you're to cheer marbles, you can cheer real human people, I think. Actually.
That's not. It's not a skill issue. I can do that.
I actually think it is a skill issue. I think it is a skill issue that you refuse to support people without making weird comments.
I haven't made a single weird comment. Just
no.
FYI.
This opening is normal and fine.
Yeah.
This is your weird comment.
Because this is a very sudden new element to our group did not exist prior, no matter what gaslighting you try to do to me. This is something that was airdropped in.
This is fun because... So, another time when sport was drip-fed into the house was I was cooking, and no one else was upstairs, so I put on the Tekken World Tournament, because I also like a lot of esports stuff. So I put on the Tekken World Tournament and watched some people beat each other up, and then Rowan came upstairs, and she was like, "What's this?" I was like, "Oh, this is Tekken. This is a fighting game I really like." And she was like, "Oh my god, sports?" And then sat down, and then after about 5 minutes, went downstairs, and then came back up immediately with all of her work to sit and watch any sport. This house has been so thirsty for some playful, good competition.
Which we never have in this house that is covered wall to wall in board games, mini, like, war games, and RPGs. No sportsmanship has existed prior to you introducing us to Tekken, a very famous video game, and soccer.
No, it's not.
And
it's
marble
not. You've
racing,
never heard of it.
which you can find every 3 swipes on your TikTok For You page. Without you, what would any of us do?
Not any of you. The two people who were starving in the house. You and Elliot were fine with your little sad gay games.
we were doing fine, and you know what? We are doing fine is the thing. We still are. We used to be doing fine, and we still are doing fine.
I have to make up some more insults, because when Viddy said, "Oh, Elliot said, what are you doing? They can't cheer for you." I said, "Oh, we'll tell him to go make a sad game about it." That was my insult to Elliot, so I've just used that twice now.
Yeah.
I gotta step up there.
And that's your quota. You're done. Can't use that one anymore.
I know. I've used it on both parties, and I've said it on a public forum. I now have to shift up the game.
Yeah.
Shift up my my comebacks. A thing which I'm famously not very good at. I just kind of sadly pout until they feel bad for me. Which works for you, eh?
Yeah. Works better than your comebacks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for real. Because I just get the pair of you fired up if I do comebacks. If I seem genuinely hurt, if I manipulate you, it's easier than if I try to have fun and have a fun witty comeback.
And they're not joking. And so if you're listening to this and you're searching for things to weaponize against Robin Ekberg, you can flip that. Don't worry.
Against him, Robin Ekberg.
For him, Matthew Ekberg fans out there.
Him, Matthew Ekberg fans out there can, say that I'm manipulating them.
Give them more ammo. I'll say a couple more messed up things right now. What are you drinking? It looks positively neon.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It's just orange squash and gin.
Orange squash?
Yeah, it's like... It's interesting because we have, I believe... Maybe. We've had an episode, I think it was during Trespasser, where
is squash
it wasn't
like that
Trespasser.
concentrate?
It's real concentrated, like a fake juice.
I forgot what it was called.
Pour water in it.
Okay.
But then I pour gin and then I pour water in it.
I getcha. Okay.
Yeah, so then it hydrates as well. But it doesn't really, because apparently the hydration thing is not real.
Well, anytime you're drinking liquid, you are hydrating, unless that liquid is like full to the brim with sea salt.
Yeah,
you are.
Which all of my drinks are.
Which, of course, is what you're drinking right now.
Yeah. I get a sea salt shaker, and then I pour water into that, and then that's how Yeah, that's how I drink.
Yeah,
what are you drinking? You're drinking whiskey. Diet Dr. Pepper.
You got it.
Nice.
First try?
Huge. Huge, actually. Delicious for me.
It is what I've been drinking the last 3 times.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard pull, but I'm still proud of it, and I don't want to.
But I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Baby. Thank you.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Hello, my name is Dillin, and I've played 2 Mass Effect games.
Let's fucking go! My name is Robin. I play the Mass Effect franchise 100 million times. This is Dorkspawn. A game where we play video games like a book club.
Yep. And we are we've played through the Dragon Age franchise. We're playing through the Mass Effect franchise right now, which I've never played, and Robin has. And we're just about to get into the finale of Mass Effect 2.
We this week finished Mass Effect 2, and I did Project Overlord. Did you do Project Overlord as well?
Yes.
Beautiful. So, I did Project Overlord post Mass Effect 2. Yeah. You also did? Do you want to talk about it now and then do the finale?
Oh.
Just because I feel like talking about the finale and then going into like a short 1 hour DLC is like less exciting than us going through.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're actually right, because I did think that we got to ramp up to the hype and not
do an incredibly hype thing and then do a thing which I enjoyed. It's a very controversial DLC, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All things considered, I thought it was fairly good.
So
just to talk about it, you get a distress call from a Cerberus base.
Getting a lot of those.
Getting a lot of those. When you land on the planet, my hair is not doing the thing I need it to. It's looking too fluffy. Your
hair is looking good. It's looking feathered.
All right. It is very feathered, but it's in an annoying way. Anyway, when you get on the base, it turns out there's a severe VI outbreak, severe virtual intelligence outbreak. You are speaking to someone called Dr. Archer, seemingly the last survivor of this VI outbreak attack. You're finding a lot of Geth throughout this facility. And it turns out that they were experimenting on live Geth. And the VI console that they had has gone haywire and has started taking over all the mechs, all the Geth, and has like slaughtered everyone on the base. Right. When reading things, it turns out that the elusive man doesn't necessarily know what has been happening or going on in this base. They have been lying to him. He's suspicious about a lack of results from this Project Overlord that they're working on. And then you fight your way through the Geth. There is the Dr. Archer is like, oh, the VI is trying to get off planet. And there's a giant satellite that they're activating, and they're going to shoot it off into space. And as soon as that happens, then we're all entirely fucked. Can you go deal with that? You go along, shoot a bunch of Geth up, these like controlled Geth. As you're investigating this base, getting to this satellite, there's this giant green face that is appearing in all of these televisions and like screens. And there is this horrific audio of this, like, garbled robotic screaming. Really fucking cool. I really like the effect here. You end up destroying the satellite, blowing it up. You have this cool action sequence where you're sprinting away, and you dive out of the satellite dish. And then you meet Dr. Archer in the flesh. Yeah. Do you want to say what Dr. Archer tells us?
So, Dr. Archer is explaining that they're trying to like connect a human brain with a virtual intelligence, and that it worked, but the VI won and like got control, like took over the subject, and so now the subject, which is Dr. Archer's brother, is now basically like a virus, and is locked inside the station, and is, you know, could be obviously like catastrophic in many ways, and so we have to go to other stations to override the facilities of the station that it's locked inside from, like, from safe from another distance.
Yeah.
So he tells us that, like, we have to do it. He gives us the instructions on, like, how to do it. And then, like, we're like, so do we need to kill your brother? Because it seems like we might need to kill your brother. And he says, I sure hope not. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a cool moment because there's all the Geth around and you're like, hey, so you've been experimenting on live Geth. And he's like, well, the idea of Project Overlord is to make a VI where we can hack into Geth and, like, take over their minds.
Right.
So we can stop a war before any war even is like a fragment of something on these things' minds. That's the goal. Minor spoiler alert to how my finale happened, I brought Legion along, my favorite companion, and there's a fun moment where he's like, is that going to be a problem? And then without any prompt, you defend Legion immediately, and I think it's fucking awesome.
That's so fun.
Shepard is like, if there is any Geth in this galaxy that is an individual, it's that guy. And that's and that's like the unprompted Shepard just says that. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Actually. That's great.
It's really, really cool. You then go to
the first one is the Vulcan station, I think.
Yes. Yeah. You get in your little Firewalker, which is the Cerberus ship. It's the Mako equivalent. I like it. I think it's cute and fun. Anything's better. It's better. It's
than
better.
The Mako.
It's neat.
Yeah.
It's a fun little sequence. You're like free roaming open world traveling in this little area with this ship. There's little collectibles that you can find. There are these hidden Cerberus documents. It's a lot of cool stuff that you can do whilst you're hanging out here. You get to the station, and I can't remember what happens. I didn't make any notes for this. I don't think it's a lot. You get to the station. You get to the station because you're... Okay, so the two stations you need to get to, the reason is because you're trying to open up these valves.
Exactly.
To open up this, like, final area where David, who has merged with this VI, are.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah,
you
just, like, you have to, like, just open up. You go inside, you get inside, and then you have to, like... open the steam vent and then activate it. Activate it, and then you basically are just, and then that's ultimately pretty much it. You have to fight a bunch of Loki mechs that are trying to undo your work on, like, as you're fighting your way through. And and turrets and stuff like that, but that's essentially it.
Yeah.
It's just like that. And then you move on to the other one, which is the
Prothean. Prometheus, not the Prothean. Sorry, Prometheus station.
Very similar.
Yeah. Which is but that's a Geth ship. That's a crashed Geth ship, which is really cool. You can kind of see how Geth ships work. It's like there's this one Geth Prime that is piloting the ship almost, or in stasis, and it would be piloting it. You walk through this little section. You activate this valve to the other room, and then as you do so, all Geth wake up. But it is cool as you're walking through these sections. It's not here. It's actually later that this happens. But then you fight your way all the way back through all the Geth, and then leave, and you go to this little final area In this final area, the doors are opening and closing randomly. There's a bunch of really cool effects with the fact that this is where the VI is its strongest.
Right.
It is becoming incredibly apparent that it is not a VI. It is just David is doing this. The face is appearing more. It has a personality. It's not trying to stop you like a robot would. It's trying to stop you like a person would. But it's a really cool kind of effect and things that are happening on the base. You realize through these like small holographic sequences that it turns out that David, this is the controversial bit. David is a autistic man who is a mathematical genius and can talk to Geth. That's his whole... That's kind of like a weird thing. He can understand and talk the Geth language, which is just a robot language.
Right.
Weird little bit.
Yeah, he can speak binary.
He can speak binary. So it turns out he can do this. And because of that, his brother decides to hook him up to this VI machine, seemingly in this way that's like he doesn't think he's hurting him or is going to affect and hurt him.
Right.
We see the state of David. So obviously he's lying. And it's also in a way that's like, it's like you can kindly, you can read it as like he doesn't quite see David as like all human. So it's like, yeah, we can kind of hook him up to the thing and it probably won't hurt him. He'll probably be fine and excited by it. David is clearly very attached to Archer.
Right.
Keeps relaying numbers to him. Then, at a certain point, David takes you over because of the cybernetics that rebuilt you.
So he can fuck up your vision and make you like see what he wants, which is honestly pretty fucking cool.
It's cool.
It's really cool. And then we like go, I mean, obviously like we have like, you're seeing like these distorted like not really corporeal, like sort of looking like matrixy enemies and stuff like that. But then like David shows us like where he was hooked up and like we see like all of the trauma that he went through. And yeah, it's truly Dr. Archer sucks kind of. I mean, like,
and then, and then it's like you do this mini boss, and then you like break the shielding to David, and you see some real like H.E. Geiger horror looking, like. The fact that it's like Archer this whole time is like, well, this won't hurt him. And then you look at David, his eyes forced open. Anytime it closes in on his eyes, which is a lot, he is tears constantly streaming from his face. These two giant tubes stuck down his throat. As he is
horrific,
like begging through numbers to be released, essentially. And okay. And then you do whatever you do. Obviously, I was like, hey, Archer, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well, like, we're not going to leave David behind with him.
That's it, yeah.
We're going to take David with us. And he tries to shoot us.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm like, oh, please, Archer.
There was a Paragon option that I missed. As Shepard has the gun pointed at him, there's a Paragon option, and I was like, is the Paragon option to shoot him in the head?
No, you fucking pistol whip him in the back of the head and you knock him out.
Because I left it, because here's the thing that happens in Mass Effect 3, I don't think Mass Effect 2 has had this, but occasionally it will give you the option to do one trigger for like a Paragon thing, and then after that fades, it'll give you a trigger to do a Renegade one afterwards. Or
fun.
vice versa, where it'll give you a trigger to do a Renegade. After it fades, it'll give you a trigger to do a Paragon. And I thought, held the gun to him, and the Paragon thing popped up, and I was like, the Paragon option isn't to kill this guy, so I waited for it to fade, and then there was nothing after. It's like, damn. I was excited to like have it hit so you shoot him. Because
fun. That's fun.
It is. It's cool. It's a cool mechanic that we're gonna get into like next week, baby. You get the option to either keep David here because David can speak and communicate with Geth and can take them over, or you can send him to Grisham Academy, which is where it's like an alliance place. It's where like Caden was raised in Grisham, so I was like, Grisham is not a good place.
It's not a good place,
but it's not here.
But,
so
you're not stuck with tubes down your throat and
What did you feel about this DLC?
I mean, there's no, I don't want to undersell it. I think it was cool. There's not much to it. But the like. I don't know that it lends much to the story. It is sort of like another DLC that felt very much like a DLC. Yeah. However, kind of like cool sci-fi conundrum, always appreciated, like weird, like amoral use of sci-fi tech, kind of moral grippings. Yeah. I always think is fun and interesting. So, like, while it didn't feel like very connected to the story as a whole, I still thought it was pretty cool. I thought that the tech in this was cool. The Savant thing. Well, we've talked about it in Dragon Age with our pal Sandal. We know that they love to do that at the BioWare house. And I mean,
that's true. Actually, I can't believe I forgot that. I forgot that was a thing. Yeah, and because I knew it, which is why originally I was like, we don't need to do this. It's like, it's short, it doesn't lend anything, and it is like, it's problematic in just kind of a skeevy way that I don't enjoy. But then Charlotte in our Discord was like, this is really affecting, and this was really good. And I was like, okay, fine.
I think it was good. I think it is worth playing. I think it is worth playing.
It is a very fun episode, like an episodic episode of Shepard's journey, which is like the overarching connective tissue is like, this is the type of stuff that Cerberus does. If you didn't get that enough from Jack, if you didn't get that enough from like Miranda's whole deal, this is what Cerberus does. Pushing, and that is also exacerbated by, and it's actually an interesting thing that I thought is, if you check your private messages after, the Elusive Man sends you a message saying, I didn't know that this was going on. He's like, I didn't know this was going on in my facility. The decision to send him away was necessary, and I agree with it. And I was like, interesting. And then he goes, however, it would have been good research. And I was like, that's
always his answer
that's
to
always
everything.
His answer. But I like that. I don't know. I think it was an interesting thing to have this be the thing the Elusive Man didn't know about. Similar to Jacob's mission, I like it when this guy who knows everything all the time, and like that's the vibe he wants to give, giving him moments to be like, he actually doesn't know what's going on all the time. And having this where it's like his whole thing is consistently like, oh, well, you have to do this for the good of information. This is the one time he was like, I agree with the fact that you gave up the information. It would have been nice, which is his shitty him coming in, but then also having him be like, but experimenting on humans was pretty fucking horrific.
This
interesting
guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I liked it. I really like the like horror AI angle. Love that shit. That's one of my favorite genres.
Yeah.
Is in sci-fi is like horror VI. I think it's so good. And it was really they did it in a really genuinely scary way in this.
Creepy and scary and upsetting way. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree the moral conundrum here was good. The well, I won't say it's a moral conundrum because it is basically just like, do you want to choose evil or do you want to torture a man who didn't ask to be tortured?
Yeah.
So, which is again, I mean, like very BioWare. Do you want to side with good or evil?
Yeah, do you want to side? Yeah, exactly. Do you want to do just like it is good, but it's good in a very neutral way. I feel like it's
the
just
good
like
is not very good. It's like, yeah, I mean, the best we can offer is to send this person to an Alliance facility that also harms children notoriously, but less bad than this. It's very interesting. It was I did like it.
Yeah. Anyway, with that,
yes.
You want to talk about the finale?
Yeah, I do. Okay, strap in. So,
sick.
I had I had done some things to try to trigger the end bit, and really I think all I needed to do was like go land somewhere on a planet and then come back. We get a cutscene to go talk to Joker and Edie.
Mm-hmm.
Edie explains to Joker and I that the device that we just spent the last mission,
the Reaper IFF,
getting the IFF, is active, but it's still super unstable, and we have to go and investigate it, but we can't bring the whole ship. We've got to take like a shuttle crew to go and check it out and make sure it's good before we activate it. And so like the entire crew, like our squad, goes to handle this while we leave.
A part of me thinks that is the canon of what happens every time you go. Like, mechanically, it is you and two others.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because for the first time ever, we say, Joker, the ship's yours, you're in charge. I think every other time, we're leaving with our two people, and someone else on the crew are mains, and they're keeping the ship tight while Joker pilots.
That's a good read, actually. I prefer that, yeah.
So I think this is, because I think this speaks to how dire this situation that is about to happen is that we are, for the first time, leaving Joker on his own, not just to pilot, but to watch the entire Normandy. And I just want to, for our visual listeners who watch us on YouTube, I want to do a reenactment of how I played the entirety of the next, I think, 6 total minutes of gameplay. My mouth completely agape, just in complete disbelief. Unbelievable. So, okay. So we leave in the Normandy. We leave Joker in charge. Edie and Joker are chatting.
They're flirting now. They're not even chatting.
Oh, well, we'll get to it. I have things to say. Edie tells Joker that there is a signal of some kind, like nearby, and he's just sort of like dismissing it a little bit, like playfully, like he's like, no, I don't see anything. Like that's just our, I don't know what he says, but it's just something on our ship, whatever.
Yeah.
And then of course, boom, scary Praetorian ship.
Because she
up.
also says, I'm reading something else's signal, but I'm also reading our signal. We are signaling ourselves to like something, and
right.
Yeah.
Right.
We are like one-to-one telling someone where we are, and then it turns out the Reaper IFF that we have is directly signaling to the collectors, hey, this is where we are.
Yep. And then the Normandy is breached by Praetorians, and they start killing fucking everybody, and then we are Joker.
Yeah, baby.
And okay, this is great shit. I wrote down, this is big Dragon Age vibes right here. This is big Dragon Age vibes. Because not only is the Normandy breached with Praetorians who are straight up killing everybody.
Killing everyone and just taking them as well. Like
brutally.
Kidnapping. Yeah.
Yeah. Joker can barely walk. So we are navigating Joker through the halls with Edie like kind of guiding him to what to do, and he is not able to go fast because his bones will shatter.
Yeah.
But we eventually get there. We climb down a hatch and we get to Edie's like core. And she tells us to link the core to the Normandy's controls so that she can kind of like take over things.
She gets full control if this happens.
Full control over everything.
There was also just before he goes down the vent, Edie says, oh, you're going to have to go to the vent to get to my core. And then Joker says something about crawling through vents, and then Edie says, I enjoy humans being on their knees. And there's a beat of silence.
Actually, right after this.
Right now? Amazing.
I have it written down in all caps. That's...
Go for it. You go for it.
Because after he gives her control of the next thing that she needs to do, is she needs to get to, like you said, so he needs to go through the vents. He's like, oh, I can't believe I have to do that, she says again. She likes when humans are on their knees. Unbelievable rapport between these two.
And then there is like a beat of silence, and then she goes, that was a joke. Which I think is phenomenal. Phenomenal shit. Yeah.
We get in there, we go through the vents, we're just like walking through, we're just still watching the Praetorians like kill everybody. And then when we get there, Edie tells Joker that she's gonna seal him off, she's gonna open the airlock, and it's gonna kill everything in there, the Praetorians and obviously any crew. But she explains that there's basically no crew left anyway. The Praetorians already got most of them.
Yeah.
We do that. Joker is knocked to the floor. His poor bones are not good. He breaks all of his ribs. It is also funny. He's like, because he does, this is another reason why my theory from before is because he's like, of course people are going to say like, like Joker was left alone up here. And as soon as you're left alone, like everything falls to shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody, we come back. Miranda needs to shut the fuck up. Is super judgmental about what Joker could have done more of, blah 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 blah. Edie comes to his defense and is like, no, he did everything that was possible to try to save everyone. This was the only option. Edie calls us her crewmates, says that despite her programming, we are her crewmates.
Yeah. Because we've seen... So, Edie is a rogue VI from Mass Effect 1 that we fight on the lunar base on the moon.
Yeah.
In this, she's installed, and she is just a basic AI. She's been scrubbed of pretty much every personality trait. And then slowly throughout the game, we've been seeing her gain sentience.
Yes.
Which is the exciting thing, because she is not a VI, she is an AI, and AIs are illegal throughout the galaxy because they don't want another overrun of...
Yeah.
The Reapers don't want a challenger, so, it's just a thing where it's like, oh, AIs are just banned. But Edie is an AI, and she's been gaining sentience this whole time. Like, a few missions earlier, she said... she warns you, and she actually informs you. The Elusive Man would have known that this is a trap, which is a thing that just a robot doesn't do, and it's fun. And now she's fully come to a sentience by saying, "Hey, you're my crewmates, and I have a brain."
She does say in the same sentence, though, that she still has parameters to her programming, which I think is interesting. So there are still some things she's not completely free from programming.
Yes,
but it does have like
a personality now,
a sense of humor, feelings about us. It's really interesting. So now after this, we know our thing worked. We know that it's time to go through the omega-3 relay. The
IFF.
Thank you, is ready. But before we do that, we haven't talked about romance. Talk to me about your romance.
It's dry in this ship. Let me tell you that much.
It?
Yeah, because I fucked Liara, and then, however, before I went through the ship, I did Legion's mission. Have you done Legion's loyalty mission? Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I did that before this whole thing triggered.
Mm-hmm.
But before I went through the Omega-4 relay, I decided to go around and speak to everyone for one last time, and everyone has a lot of opinions about their personal mission, because it turns out I haven't spoken to them since their personal mission has happened. Morden, interestingly, says that he blames Solarians for why Krogans are the way that they are. He says that they are not... They were picked up by Solarians pre-space flight, and it's, of course, they are going to... It's given caveman nukes and expecting them to act civilly is how he determines it, which I think is an interesting thing, and also blames his entire race. He's like, well, this is why the Krogans are the way they are, and it's another, like, he's coming to terms with things, I think.
Right.
He's, like, now going back through the history of the Krogan and is like, this shouldn't have happened to them. I feel horrendous about this stuff happening. He also sings, if you bring up theatre, he sings a very cute rendition of a human theatre song from a movie. That movie is something. Fuck. I am the model of a model major general is the actual human
from
song.
Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah, but he sings, I am the model of a scientist Solarian. Studied all the races.
Corny as shit. That's corny.
Oh my god!
Shit.
Did you hear him sing it?
No, I didn't.
Holy shit!
Hang on.
No. I'm gonna do it to you.
Screen share it so the YouTube listeners can have it.
Oh, we want to actually have... Oh, perfect. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Morden Solus song. I have to Google everything beforehand, so spoilers are not here.
Oh, that's fine. I also have all my notes up on the screen and everything.
Good. Why? Oh, because I muted the dip. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to do the whole screen of this. Okay, you watching?
Hell yeah.
Okay. It might be very loud, so I'm going to turn it down a significant amount. Tell me if it's too loud, actually.
Negligible. Sang a little. Multi-species productions for cultural exploration. Gilbert and Sullivan always had me do the patter songs. But not about me. Cultural artistic expression reflects philosophical evolution, interest in growth, perspective, observation, interpretation. Suspect you won't see any art in collector base. Culturally dead. Tools for reapers. Worse than the Geth.
I'm sorry, I know that was important, but you perform Gilbert and Sullivan?
I am the very model of a scientist Solarian. I've studied species Turian, Asari, and Batarian. I'm quite good at genetics as a subset of biology because I am an expert which I know is a tautology. My xenoscience studies range from urban to agrarian. I am the very model of a scientist Solarian.
cutest guy in the fucking world.
That's very cute. Makes no sense. But
why doesn't it make any sense?
Why would the words be that? Why would the words be that?
Because they changed it because he was doing a different theater thing. He was adapting it.
And he was adapting it to be about being a scientist and a Solarian, the thing that he is now. Have we not heard of acting? Mass Effect 2? You typically pretend to be people who are not yourselves.
What if? How?
The production that gave us...
now. That was improvised. He did that then off the dome.
Oh, okay. You're saying that wasn't from a play. He was just
I'm saying that
riffing.
he knew it from the play, and then it's like, oh wait, you sang, and he was like, yeah, and then he just did
and then
the
he
song.
just ripped bars, and he said.
He just did a fun Weird Al version of
Weird Al version of a modern Major General.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
It's cute though, isn't it? Cute.
That's really cute. It is really cute. I'm being a curmudgeon, but it's cute. What?
Props to the voice actor for being able to sing in Morden's voice.
Yeah, that's tough shit.
That's tough.
That's tough shit.
That's fucking sick as hell. Really, I think that's genuinely exceedingly impressive. Okay, so he sings.
So Roman. You.
Then
keep going.
Then I go to Samara. Now this is where the romance comes in. I flirt hard. I go hard about Samara, and she says, "I've already done that in a previous life, but I appreciate that people can still feel about me this way." Heard, chef.
Actually, kind of hot.
Yeah, it goes kind of fucking crazy. So I like that. I tried to romance her.
If I ever dry out, that's what I'm going to say to people. If I ever... if I'm ever just over it, you know?
You ever dry out? If I wash up on the beach in the sun and I dry out,
yeah, like a dead starfish.
Exactly what I was referencing. A fucking starfish. Yeah. Good. Perfect.
Okay. So is that your only romance that happened?
That's the only romance. Yeah, and then I have some other notes of fucking.
Except you kind of kept things alive with Liara, but she's like kind of not here.
Yeah, Liara's not here. We did sleep together and continue the romance because when you go to fly through the Omega 4 relay, it's like, okay, it'll be X amount of hours, and then that's the trigger for the romance scene. And I sadly I picked up a picture of Liara and sadly stared at Liara's face.
Okay, that's really funny.
Yeah, stupid. Tell me about yours.
That's really funny. Okay, so. Garrus and I we kind of had talked about this a little bit, but just to give it a little more context, Garrus and I have this conversation, initially where he tells me a story about how he used to do sparring to let off steam, and he had an old sparring partner, and I had the option to flirt with that because he was like, oh, this sparring partner and him had like a private tiebreaker after the match.
There's more than one way to blow off steam is his...
Yeah. And so I was like, I could help you blow off steam. And he's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? And so but I don't give up. And I was like, we could just make each other feel good. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want that? Like, do you think it's going to be okay? Like, he's got a lot of worries about the whole thing in terms of, which I think this is very cute because it does seem like the lead into this romance is less like a lead into a romance and more about like two friends agreeing to bang it out because times are tough.
Yeah.
And be- and being like, hey, so like, are we sure this is a good idea? Do we need to like what is
what's
then,
our
like,
parameters
like,
here?
What's your anatomy like? I don't know. Like, it's a lot of logistical conversation, which is very cute to me. And then later, like you said, when we're going towards the relay, and they and we get the romance cutscene. Shep's in her quarters, and he shows up with a bottle of wine, and he puts... Oh, that's the other thing I should say. Before we leave, he's like, okay, yes, I am totally in. I'm going to watch some videos and read some things. I will catch you later. And so then he shows up in your quarters with a bottle of wine, puts on some ridiculous disco music, and tries to be flirty. He's like moving a little sexy on purpose in a way that is cringy. And I'm like, yeah, great. And then he's like, if you were a Turian, I would say, nice fringe. You're not. So good hair. And I'm like, you're nailing this. You're absolutely nailing this. You're doing an excellent job. He's like, I really should have watched those videos all the way through. And I'm like, probably. But what if we just turn the music off and we screw instead? And we do it, and it's cute. And then I get a cute little like cutscene where we just sort of like are cuddling, and then we get another like option where I can just go and like sit in his lap and be, we can be cutesy at each other.
Yeah,
dreadfully cute, honestly.
You love it.
And then I had gone to talk to Morden Solis, and he was like, I'm meaning to talk to you, actually. It's funny you stopped by here. I had something to say. And I'm like, what's up, Morden? What do you have to say? And he's like, just a couple of things about sex.
He's just my favorite guy. I fucking love him.
And I'm like, I know what I'm doing, buddy. But he explains to me that that sex is good for like, because hormones are good for reducing your stress levels and increasing your endorphins. So he supports it. He's like, good. I'm glad you're doing this together. But he tells me that sometimes humans can have an anaphylactic allergic reaction to Turian seed. Semen. Yeah. So he says you can't swallow. Yeah. So that's a thing that I know now about my shepherd and Garrus's relationship, is that we can't be swallowing.
You can't be swallowing. Yeah.
No swallowing. Dreadful news for them, and I'm very sorry, but
isn't that the cutest thing in the fucking world?
Oh, so cute, actually.
Yeah, not even cute. I just love.
It's cute.
That I love the interaction with Morden after doing that, because it's just so fun. I just love this crew. I love the Mass Effect 2 crew so bad.
It's a great crew.
Yeah.
Speaking of crew, it's time to go through the Omega 3
No, it's
relay.
not, because it's not because we have to talk about the Legion personal mission first.
Oh, the Legion
because
mission.
Because we haven't talked about the Legion loyalty mission.
That's right.
Which is fucking good, gang. I really love this. This might not be my favorite personal mission. It's not, because Morden's is. This is definitely up there, though, because... So, the Reapers have been making a virus, or Reapers have a virus that is infecting Geth, and it's turning people into heretics. Legion wants to go to a Geth base and to, like, rewrite the code of this virus to stop the heretics, which is what all Geth call the Geth that have joined the Reapers heretics, to rewrite all of the heretics. So you're going through the space, shooting,
and there are Geth that don't want to hurt organics. Like there are more like Legion.
There's
out there,
loads and loads of them apparently, and you fight the way through. And this whole time, Legion, it's like, oh, how do you feel about killing Geth? Because that's what we're doing. And Legion is like, these are heretics. This is okay to terminate them, even though it's horrifically sad because I understand their perspective just based on how Geth work. Is that Legion understands the perspective of every Geth that you're fighting. I love Legion so much. The Geth are the most interesting guys in this world. Having a hive mind character, which is always tough to do in media, is having a hive mind, because it's like, how do you do a hive mind and you don't have it just be they're a hive mind, they all share the same thoughts? It's that everyone is individual. However,
because you can't have it be an actual hive mind. That it's hive mind is the Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
Oh my god.
What? Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Hello, baby.
Hello, baby. After they just spent like 20 minutes ragging on us for not being down on sports. Yeah. Hello, baby.
Grow up.
No, I don't. So, civil war among the Geth about this issue.
Yeah. Fight your way through. Have some fun little sequences where you're trying not to touch the lines on the floor, to get like an advantage on the Reapers, the Geth. You get all the way to the end. Legion this whole time is like analyzing and speaking to every single Geth that is currently alive and in existence, about whether or not they should rewrite all the heretics or allow the heretics to live as they are, just because there is a question of individuality in rewriting them. You're kind of denying their individuality in the fact that you're rewriting the Geth.
Right, their right to be wrong is kind of like an interesting thing, because like these are like, this is new territory for the Geth, to have Geth splintering off and having their own.
It's almost, interestingly, that the Reapers have given Geth some form of individual sentience in a way that I think is a cool question to give. Now, Legion is like, the Reapers are just using the Geth to be a means to the end, but this virus is because this virus is indoctrinating them. But then we have the question of, if we just rewrite the Geth to be on our side, are we any different to what the Reapers are doing? Because we are just forcing the Geth to join us regardless. Like, it's an interesting, like, moral question. And then at the end of the quest line, the choice, which is the best choice of the personal missions, I think.
It is the best choice, and it's also not a choice, is my takeaway.
Fantastic. Talk to me about it.
Because the choice is, do we rewrite them or do we kill them? And these are presented as different things. However, we've just spent essentially the entire time we've known Legion, which admittedly is not very long, but knowing Legion, and throughout this adventure that we've taken with Legion, we've been walked through exactly how, like, they are individuals, and they are like, they have developed these thoughts and opinions and things independently from any other kind of programming. So if we reprogram them to be different people, we have essentially killed them. If we kill them, we have essentially killed them. There is not really the difference is that there is still a physical thing left behind.
Yeah.
But it is like, do we lobotomize everybody or do we kill everybody?
Yeah.
And I said we kill them.
Fucking fascinating. I was stuck on this for a really, really long time. This is the only Mass Effect 2 choice which I had to sit with for a while and be like, okay, what am I actually going to do? Am I going to, again, kind of like brainwash them and rewrite them, or am I going to kill them all outright right now? Now, I thought about Shiv. The thing is, this is an interesting thing that I do want to bring up, that I think it will be good to talk about at the end of Mass Effect 3. I think that Shepard is less of a character than someone like the Warden or Hawk.
Easy. Ooh, tough. I don't know if I agree necessarily.
I mean,
with that,
Hawk. Okay, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It's interesting. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But so this is one of the times where I really had to be like, okay, but who is Shiv though? Like, what is her decision in this moment?
Yeah.
And then I thought back to like the backgrounds that you pick at the beginning, and her background is ruthless. Now, the ruthless thing I do come back to a lot, and I do make a lot of decisions that are just like brutal, because I'm like, well, her thing is being ruthless, and I think both of us have gone like a heavy renegade route. I've
actually been very Paragon,
but with the thing of like, I maxed out Paragon on this, but this has a heavier renegade than I have normally played. Okay. Because she does a lot of her responses are very Florence Hawk, very like, to her crew, she's very kind. To everyone else, she's like, kill yourself. This right now, though, I'm like, well, what would she do? And then I came back to the ruthlessness of that background. And when it comes to something, because the reason why you're making this decision, because you actually ask Legion, why aren't you making this? And then Legion says, it's almost a direct 50-50 split, with Geth that think that you should rewrite and Geth that should kill them all, and it's a decision. And I was like, okay, the ruthless thing to do is to rewrite them and force them to be on your side. So then I rewrote all the Geth and I forced them to be on our side, because I think you are correct. The more ruthless decision is to keep them alive and kind of make them be on your team.
I agree.
Yeah. So I did that rather than switch them all off,
that's
essentially.
your reasoning for doing that. Yeah.
Rather than kill them, is that I think it's more ruthless too. Because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking there is a genuine argument that you are just doing what the Reapers are doing, which is indoctrinating and forcing them onto your side. And Shiv was like, we need to win this war by any means necessary. And any means necessary right now means we have to force these people to be on our side if we have a choice of these robots. Yeah. It's the only choice that I have really thought about. I think it's a great choice. There is another choice real at the end of the game. At the final choice in the finale, which I also think is a really good kind of decision to make. But yeah, that's what I made. And you decided to kill them?
I killed them, yeah.
No, I love that. I think that's great.
I felt like that was the easy choice. We get another cat fight.
Oh my god, love it. Tally is fuming. Yeah.
Tally is fuming. Tally and Legion go at it. Because Legion was trying to get data from her Omnidual to share with the Geth.
Yeah.
He's like, I am just trying to defend my people. And Tally's like, fuck you, don't go through my shit.
Defending your people means killing us, is one of Tally's big arguments there.
Yeah. Which is true.
And it's interesting because when you speak to Legion after, he says, or it says rather, it's trying to find the reason why Quarians did what they did in the Morning War, which is the war when all the Geth woke up and decided to revolt. It's trying to find why that is a thing. Why do organics work that way? Why was the only decision to kill us? It doesn't make sense to kill them to inorganic creatures. All the Geth are having this conversation of like, it doesn't make sense why they would just kill us. It doesn't make sense why they would put us in this position. Why did they do that? And Legion is trying to figure it out. And that is upsetting. That is upsetting. Deeply upsetting sentence. Yeah.
And I was like, hey. You both have valid points. And they're like, okay, Shepard.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, Shepard.
Whatever. We love you. Kisses.
We love you, Shepard.
Love you guys. Bye.
Okay, problem solved.
Bye.
Bye.
You walk away. Love them. Also, a little brief thing if you talk to Legion after. Legion says that it is wearing specifically your armor because the Geth, after you crashed, a bunch of non-heretic Geth came to find you. And Legion found your armor and picked it up and welded it to itself.
A lot of people are freaks about Shepard and Shepard's armor specifically.
Specifically Shepard's armor. The coolest fucking... And it's
stuff.
Interesting, isn't it? Legion wielded your armor to it after the crash. Liara took your armor. Someone's lying.
Someone's full of shit. If not Liara, though... What does she have framed on her wall? If that's not my armor.
I think Legion has like a leg plate from you.
Yeah.
Which one makes more sense.
It's pieces of it.
It's pieces of your armor.
It couldn't
with the
be that the
N7
writers
stripe.
It couldn't be that the writers wrote this without fact checking each other.
No.
That couldn't have happened.
In a BioWare game? Get out of here.
That could never
That's
have
never
happened.
That's never happened once.
No.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I like it. I love it. I love Legion. Legion is so outstanding as a character. Could have had him a while before, like a few hours back.
Oh my god, Legion. Way should have had them ages ago.
And what's so crazy is that people are like, oh, one of the best missions of the game is Tally's mission if you bring Legion. And it's like, damn, I really wish that as soon as we picked up Legion...
a timer didn't start going off that would...
Kill everyone on our ship?
Yeah.
Speaking of killing everyone on our ship, though. Through the Omega 4 relay, baby!
Baby! That's great. Do
you like that? Is that good
we
for
can't.
you?
But we can't leave this in. I think even for us.
Now, I get it. Here's the problem.
Okay.
That closing comment was so funny that's a leave it in joke.
Oh, I'm leaving in. We can't leave this in. That's where we're picking up. We're starting with that.
Yeah, sick. Yeah.
Sick, good.
So, I'm going to need people to put in like a kind of hedge bet of what the joke was that we can't air. That's too dark.
What do you think is too far for us?
It's too far for us specifically. Now, listen back to previous episodes. What have we joked about that most people would cut? Now, think about what the joke previous was. Place your bets in the Discord.
Please. Yes. Get yourselves in trouble, not us.
Yeah, and we're never going to confirm nor deny. But we will react.
We will react. Yeah, we won't outright.
But we're going to react to all of them. So you're going to have to guess which one's correct.
You'll know if you're right.
Look, Dillin, look.
What is it? Oh, it's your boy.
It's a collector's edition.
Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering has made Robin so happy. It's been actually infectious joy over here since yesterday. For the audio listeners, Robin is pulling out a clown cars amount of boxes of Magic the Gathering cards one by one and showing them to the screen proudly.
I have 4 more commander decks. There's 4 commander decks. This is the collector's edition because the place that I went to, I was talking to the owners and they're like, "Oh, we don't mark up price. We sell everything like as is. We don't have the infrastructure to have people not buy these products because they're so expensive, not only for the consumers but also for the businesses." So they're like, in this event, everything is as like essentially like if you would just buy it wholesale. This is $800. This was like £100, which is fucking
That's
insane.
wild.
Fucking insane. And this is not worth it, gang. I already have this deck. I don't need it. It's just foils of every single card. I don't give a fuck about foils, but now that does mean I can cannibalize the other deck. Hey, gang, I was so happy yesterday. I almost cried whilst playing a TCG. Whilst playing Magic the Gathering, I was so fucking happy. I have so many cool cards of all my favorite characters. Really big into the franchise. It's silly. I feel embarrassed talking about it, but I had a blast. It was great. I went to 2 pre-releases yesterday. I've been waiting for this day, waiting for yesterday for 2 years since they announced it. I got into Magic. Because they announced the fact they were doing a Final Fantasy crossover, which is my favorite franchise ever, full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge day for Robins.
Yeah, and I went and I did 2 pre-releases. I got a cool bag. Where's my bag? I got a cool bag and like a cool dice in it as well. And then I pulled all my favorite guys. Is
that the D10 you showed us?
It's the D10. It's the crystal D10, yeah. It's
so
like a
cool.
thing which you can only get, and the bag itself, you only get the crystal D10 if you go to a pre-release. If you go to 2 pre-releases, you get the bag. So I went to both. And there's like, it's so limited that I couldn't get it anywhere else. I tried in Brooklyn even, and they didn't have them. And they did in the place I used to go LARPing, which is in Chislehurst Caves.
That's not a real place. Say the name of that place again.
Chislehurst Caves? Yeah. Haley had the exact same response. I said Chislehurst Caves, and they were like, "That's not real." And I was like, "Well, it is. So I don't know what you want to do about it." Yeah, it's a real cool place. It's good. It's really nice. The people there were great. I made a lot of new friends. It was genuinely, it was awesome. I had a stupid blast. I just got a note. I just got a message literally right now from Kai saying that he's about to go into his pre-release.
That's awesome.
It's all happening, gang. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm buzzing about it.
I have
the 4 commanders, and in Canada, by the way, the actual set comes out in 3 days. It's on the 7th of June right now. It comes out in 3 days on the 10th. I got a booster box, which is 30 packs. I got it 4 days early. If I was in Canada, I would be opening the sets 4 days before anyone else would be opening their boxes.
Wow.
And I missed it because I'm not there. I'm gutted about it. Anyway, really, really love it. I had such a blast yesterday. Some great cards in it.
I know,
so
I'm
fun,
so
so flavorful. There's a card called... I can't get into it. It's going to be fucking boring. No one's going to care. Anyway...
I care.
We didn't discuss this week.
Before we go back into Dorkspawn, respond to our messages in the house Discord.
I'm gonna do a little sad face because you're making fun of me. Robins Bobbins. Well. Isn't Robins Bobbins. Chislehurst Caves isn't even that weird.
It's a fantastical name. It's such a silly, fantastical name for a made-up place.
Just because your places are named after numbers. Rubbish names of places in America.
Named after numbers? talking about?
51st Street? Have some creativity, fucking losers.
That's just a street. That's for the grid system. Our towns have normal names.
I know, I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of anything bad enough. Chiselhurst Caves is normal. It's a normal name, and it's cool. It's a cool game. It's a cool, good name. Anyway, what? I have a question. What are we doing here today? We didn't have time to talk about what we're doing.
So, what we're doing is we're continuing the recording that we started 2 days ago.
Okay, so we are finishing. We're doing the finale of Mass Effect 2 now.
Yes, we're doing the finale of Mass Effect 2 because I had to go. We hit a timer because we had much more to talk about than I realized.
Yeah.
So we've got to get. We actually have to start the actual quote unquote suicide mission of going through the Omega-3 relay and starting the end of Mass Effect 2.
Baby. Yeah, baby.
So.
All right.
Massive.
You banged Garrus. He was very cute.
Yes, I did.
And then
You looked
I
forlorn
looked sadly
at a picture of Leora.
picture of my evil wife. Okay, then we go through the Omega-4 relay. The big, cool red Mass Effect relay that I like so much. It's the coolest shit ever.
It's cool shit.
We poof through it. And then we arrive in the center of the galaxy in this like perfect pinpoint with thousands of black holes around us. And not only a bunch of black holes, dozens and dozens of destroyed vessels, ships that have attempted to come through and were destroyed because they either didn't have the right pinpointing or were destroyed by the collector vessel that as soon as we arrive, Joker's like, oh shit, we have company
ready for us.
And then they come through. They like leave their big space station and release these things called the Oculus, which are these giant they're not giant. They're tiny
giant
for Starship. Like, for ships, they're these small things that are flying around and doing little, like, laser hits, but they break through our hull.
They breach the Normandy, is the thing.
And they breach the Normandy, yeah. And then we see them and we're like, oh, these things are fucking massive. What's cool about it, though, and what's the thing that I find is very funny, something is connecting and disconnecting on my laptop so much, and I'm getting the little doo-doo, doo-doo noise all the time, and I think I'm going insane.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's really stressing me out. I also can't figure out what it is. Anyway, as we're like dipping and dodging and flying around, avoiding the lasers that the collector ship are doing, fighting off these Oculus like ships, these tiny little starships. Joker keeps being like, it's a good thing we upgraded as we're zooming through.
Yeah.
It's a very funny, like,
letting us know we made the correct choice.
Yeah, we did the right thing. Thank you, Joker.
Joker and Edie are navigating us
together
through this together, which is great and delightful.
And
while we are fighting the Oculus that has breached, which is massive, and no matter what you do to it, you have to defeat it basically twice, because halfway through it just pops back up at full again. And
it's
you
pretty
just essentially start over. Dreadfully huge thing.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. As a spaceship, it's pretty small, but as a
thing you're fighting,
direct one-to-one enemy, it's
a meaty guy. I think which I noted, which I think is really cool, is it's a thing that I like about Joker and Edie's like little flirty relationship, because at this point, Edie is the Normandy. and I think it's fun and cute that Joker
That
is
is
just
actually
flirting
really cute.
with the Normandy because now the Normandy has a voice and a mind. The thing
And
that he
that's
loves
his
more
ship.
than anything.
That's his girl.
And that's the thing. It's a thing where it's like the Normandy is our ship. Yeah, it's our ship. The Normandy is Joker's ship.
Joker's ship.
It's Joker's
I agree.
ship more than anything. Joker was grounded. Like the Normandy was grounded at the end of Mass Effect 1, and he didn't want to fly any other ships so bad that he joined a terrorist organization just because they were like, do you want to fly your ship? And he's like, yeah, I want to fly.
Yeah, that's my
this
ship.
is my
That's
ship.
my
I want
girl.
to fly my ship again, please.
This Washburn-ass character.
I love him. Joker and Edie do some fucking cool-ass maneuvers. They're shooting the collector ship. They end up destroying it, blowing it out of the sky by doing a really cool... I love this in shit like... aircraft combat where you fly up really high and then you kill the engine so your ship like burns and flips 180 and then you turn everything back on and shoot down. Then you blow through it as you're like flying through. It's a really cool bit that the Normandy does. I think it's the coolest thing.
It's really cool.
But then you do it and you land on the vessel, the space station.
We like crash land a little bit. I mean, like we land.
Oh yeah, of
but
course
it's
you do.
like
Yeah, I actually forgot that that's exactly what happens.
It's like pretty much a crash land. And then it's like because of the way we landed and like how much damage we've taken, the Normandy needs time before all our systems are gonna be back up online, and everybody's just like, okay, we need time to get back online. They probably do too, so we'll be fine. And this is where like everybody starts to recognize and name out loud that we're probably going to not make it back. This is a one-way trip where we're talking like we just have to get this done. Nobody is expecting to survive is kind of the vibe we're having in the cockpit. And then this whole adventure starts to take this really interesting approach where we're plotting on how to make our next moves, how to get in, and it's like Shepard is gonna have to like divvy up who is gonna be doing what and who's gonna be what.
Now, this is when I bring up the Veil Guard.
This
is the
100%.
Veil Guard.
Yeah.
Now, I really liked the last mission of the Veil Guard, so I don't want to immediately come off as super negative. This is a better version of the Veil Guard's big choice bit. I think the Veil Guard's one was flashy. This to me had a lot of stakes. Every decision. I've done this fight specifically so many times, this like sequence, because I finished the game a decent amount. Every time, regardless of if I know for a fact that I've done everything perfect, my heart is in my throat this whole fucking time. Deciding who's gonna go where, what, like who is best to fit each zone is just genuinely kind of spooky to me. And I love it so much. So at the beginning, we need two things. There is going to be us who are going to follow someone through the vents, and there is going to be a backup team who are going around the side to like distract and get through other doors, so we split the collectors fairly evenly and we can take both fights. We need to decide someone to go through the... Go on.
No, because we kind of have like three groups. We have like a Shepard and our group. We have an alternate leader and their group, and then we have solo guy who's going to go through the
who's going through the vents
and unlock the door from the other side.
So we need someone who's really good with tech to go through the vents, and then you need someone who's a really good leader to lead the side team. Who did you pick to go through the vents? Who did you pick side team?
I picked Legion to go through the vents because to be tech guy, and I picked Garrus to be my squad leader.
I picked Garrus to be squad leader. I picked Tally to go through the vents.
Yeah. Namely, Miranda makes a case that she should be the alternate side leader, and I'm like,
no way.
Shut the fuck up. I don't trust you at all.
I do trust Miranda now, and I do trust her to I trust that she is a good leader. However, she is not a good leader for this crew. This crew doesn't like her very much.
Right, right.
Like,
that's the
imagine Jack having to take commands from Miranda. That would go so utterly dog shit. It's just not going to be played. Garrus, however, he's led people in the past. Everyone likes Garrus. And if everyone doesn't know Garrus that well, they know that Garrus is basically you, but a Turian. So it's like they would trust that it's like, yeah, Garrus knows what he's doing. So we go through.
Before we start, Shepard gives a big speech that I think could have used a second pass. Not on the writers, but on Shepard. I feel like Shepard. It is in character for Shepard to give that speech, but it was just sort of like, all right. But then, so then we are, we get through, everything goes off okay. We're in the collector base. They've got, colonists, human colonists, like up in these goopy pods, that are pretty creepy. And then there are like, we're getting like, we know that like going in further, we're going to get like fired at by a bunch of like projectiles and stuff that are coming out. And so it's like, we need a biotic, a really strong biotic to now protect us as we're going further in.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is genuinely pretty fucking cool. The whole way that this next bit goes, I liked it a lot.
I got fish and chips.
I think this was an obvious choice for Jack.
Oh yeah, I picked Jack immediately for this as well. Yeah, absolutely.
And she she's walking alongside the crew as we're fighting, but she's just got this big like shield up,
because she needs to focus on keeping the barrier up.
And so she's just like pushing forward with the big barrier around us the whole time as shit's flying at us, which was really cool, I thought.
So here's a fun bit. When you find the crew, your crew, in these goop pods, if you do one or more missions when the crew has been stolen to now, they all get turned to goop in front of you. They all die. That's the thing. That's the like. You can't take too long in this. Your whole crew gets goopified, except for Dr. Chakwas, I think. I think you're able to save her in time, but like Kelly Chambers, everyone gets gooped.
Right.
I have never saved the crew before this run. I've never done it before. Yeah, I've never, because it jumps you. I'm like going around, I'm doing extra stuff, and it's like, oh fuck, the crew's stolen. Oh shit, I have Legion's mission to do. Like it's always that. And I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't think about this. I've never saved them before this time.
Oh, so that's what happens if you don't do things on the timer. Is that what it is? Like the countdown that starts after you trigger the IFF.
When the crew gets taken, if you do anything except for immediately go, the whole crew gets mulched.
Fuck. Cool. Okay.
It's cool. Yeah, it's dark. I also picked Jack for this. You then need an addition. It's the same thing with another side team. Again, I picked Garrus.
I did too. I kept Garrus because I realized
who was following you. Who did you have join you? You get to change your crew over and over again. Your like squad, which I think is fun.
Yeah, I had Grunt and Morden. Yeah.
Also, who did you send someone back to go help the crew? Because you can send someone to go take the crew.
Yes, and I don't remember who I picked for that.
I picked Grunt to go do that because I was like, I think Grunt would love solo, like, if there's someone who I can trust to solo carve through a bunch of enemies,
a bunch of people, it would be
it's
Grunt.
my fucking guy. It's Grunt, obviously.
Yeah.
So I sent him back.
I don't remember. I didn't write that down. And I don't remember who I picked for that. But yeah, I kept Garrus because I kind of realized if it wasn't telling me what kind of skill the people needed, I figured that it was more based on loyalty, which I had with everybody. So I was like,
I think it is loyalty. I think it might be a loyalty and a little bit of like if they're good at defense.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is because okay, so you do this. You get through. If you have Jack, you get through. On the first run, I had Legion and Mordin follow me. On the second one, this one now, because Jack was doing the biotics, I had Samara and Thane come with me because I had the in-universe idea of if Jack can't hold it, Samara can take over, and then Jack can switch to our team.
Sure.
So it was like they could like switch, like tap in and out if they needed to. You get through, and then you're in like the last stand, basically.
Yeah. And right before that, Shepard gives a different second speech, much better than the first.
Much better. And it's cool because you can kind of decide the angle that you're going for with it, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave a very like, oh, now the collectors are shitting themselves. Let's show them what happens when they're on our doorstep.
I chose the like they're gonna be sorry option or whatever it was. It was like
yeah.
Which I really liked having the option to be, because I think the other was like something like it's been a pleasure working with you all or something like that. There was like a
if we don't make it, these are my last words.
There was like
kind
a
of
heartfelt one, and then there was like they're gonna be sorry. They're gonna wish they never.
And
fucked
it's like
with
we're
us
gonna
kind
fucking
of
kill these guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that so much.
Then you have another choice. It is who you're gonna bring with you to this final confrontation, because everyone who is there in the room, they need you need a certain threshold of defense stats. Garrus, Grunt, Zaid all have really good defense.
Yeah.
If you don't have high enough defense, as you are fighting in this final confrontation, people start dropping off, and you're getting radioed of people dying.
Yeah. This is the only time I kept my crew to Grunt and Mordin, I think the first 2 times, and then for this I switched out Mordin for Garrus.
Fascinating. Mm-hmm. I think I know what happens at the end for you. Now.
Okay.
Because I think there is a defense trigger with that. I may be wrong.
Oh, yeah. I think I maybe know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Which is fucking heartbreaking for me, because he is one of the best scenes in Mass Effect 3 that doesn't happen if, obviously, he's not there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I found out at this point I have the Dragon Age 2 problem. I love every single one of these crew members so much that really struggled to decide who was coming with me in this final fight. I decided for Miranda and Mordin. Mordin, just in case I needed someone to like really quickly think of what's happening, and Miranda because I just kind of wanted to bring Miranda along.
Is Mordin a good defense character?
No, I brought him with me because you need to leave defense characters behind, and you need to bring just anyone with you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I meant. I picked those two to be the defense teams.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, I misconstrued that as for the last mission you brought Gareth.
No.
With
for
you.
the defense part. Yeah.
Sick.
And then
okay, you should have been fine.
and then I still had Morden with me, and I took the person that I have not taken on a single mission, period, the entire time that I've been playing this game. Oh, well, I guess the other one that I haven't taken on a single mission, which I think is Samara, is the name. Yeah. Except for Samara's personal thing.
Yeah, no, sure. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't really bring Samara along. She's cool. She's a really cool character, but like the quality of characters in this game is like
I know
absolutely, it's so stupid high that I did really struggle in this last bit. I literally wrote in my notes I have the Dragon Age 2 problem. It's like I just
Everybody's
bringing
so
two
good.
characters, but it's like, well, I want to bring like Tali and Garrus. Like I want to bring my original crew, but then it's like, but I don't feel like the original Normandy is special. But now I'm like, am I gonna pretend that Morden Solus isn't part of my fucking boys? Like, isn't part of my crew? Am I pretending Grunt isn't part of my crew? Like, it's just there's so many people in this game who I love everything they bring to the story and their vibes that it's ridiculous to me to even like it was so difficult. I ended up bringing Morden and Miranda with me.
Interesting. Okay.
Morden because again, just in case there's something that needs figuring out, and Miranda because I was like, I know that this greasy little man is going to get his claws in something, and I need Miranda to be a middleman at the minute. Yeah. But then you're like making your way to the heart of the ship. This thing that all of these pipes with all of this all of these human pods are leading to. And you find a giant human reaper, is what they call it. It is a reaper that is being built to look like a skeletal human.
This part is, I think, maybe the coolest like culmination of 2 games worth of like this is a satisfying, because if we got to talk about Veilguard a little bit, but like this is it's not only that this whole end adventure is really exciting and cool and like feels high stakes the entire time, like in every step of the way.
Yeah.
It's not only that. It's that the lore payoff after all of this 2 games is legit cool and good.
Yeah, it's
because
awesome.
we find this thing. I mean, it's terrifying. Actually, it's huge. We find out that the Reapers are rebuilt different each time. It's not like they're one.
They're not the same creature. Yeah,
they are built using like some living species material. This time they're being built out of humans by the collectors, who are the Protheans.
But it was also realized that the Protheans, I think Edie figures it out, that it's like,
yes,
the Reapers wanted to use the Protheans, but their genealogy was so specific that the Reapers couldn't perfectly copy them, so they forced them into being collectors, these mindless husks. However, humans have the right genealogy, which we found out through Morden Solus's mission. You know, it's like you have the personal mission where it's like, oh, well, human genealogy just adapts really easily. We find it out on the collector ship, where they're like, why are they experimenting on humans? Well, human genealogy is really adaptive. And then Edie's like, oh, Reapers are using you because they're going to make themselves humans, because humans are very adaptive and can just fit into like organic matter easy. Cool. Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Before we like kind of leave this exposition scene to go back to fighting, somebody says, and I forget who says this, but I wrote down, somebody says, so this thing, this Reaper is still an embryo, so it's not alive yet. Mass Effect 2, stance on abortion rights.
Hell yeah, baby. We got it.
Mass Effect 2.
Every game is political.
All games are political, and we keep saying that.
We keep saying it. You have a pretty cool fight. You're like trying to break the tubes that are feeding this Reaper.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool.
This human Reaper now, whilst fighting things. And then when you break them, it falls down lifeless, and then it like clambers itself back up, and there's this cool, pretty scary, like it's this giant thing. And the way that it looks at you is like horrific. It does this little duck
It's got
move
like
where
glowing, like gaping
big
hole
glowing
eyes
and
the
this
skeleton.
giant weird mouth. And as it like, I really like this sound bite that it has when it's leering over you. It does this little move. You like dodge and you're like shooting it a little bit, and then to give you like a last second time to like kill it, it like bends down but then like peaks back up, and there's this little like bwah that it does as it's like charging up a little laser that gives you more chance to shoot at it. And I always found that satisfying even when I was a kid. Anyway, you kill it, then you arm this EMP, which will kill all of the collectors and destroy the base. But then whose sniveling little face makes an appearance? Fucking the Elusive Man turns up and he's like, wait.
This motherfucker. It's his
Good job at all
usual
this.
song and dance. It's his usual little plea. Hey, what if instead of solving this problem all the way, you solved it halfway and gave the rest to me?
Yeah. He's like, we could use all of this information, and you have the choice to hand over the collector base. Just use the EMP to kill all the collectors, and then hand over the ship itself to Cerberus and the Elusive Man, or you can destroy it altogether. Which one did you pick?
I want you to guess. Look me in the eyes and guess, Robin.
I also did that. I also destroyed it.
Yeah.
I destroyed it because fuck this guy. He's not a part of my crew.
This guy.
Actually, you know what? I had Shiv give him like a last, because of the thing that I was talking about in Mass Effect 1, where Shiv thinks that if someone is doing a shit thing, they're not fully cooked yet. They need more time to grow and live.
Oh, right. I remember that.
And because of this whole thing, she's been pretty like, all right, I get it. Whatever, I think this is bad, but it's still very civil to him. Sometimes I did a lot of renegade, like, I understand why you're doing this. And I gave him one more chance. Before you leave through the Omega 4 relay, he gives this, like, this is it. Like, that we're about to do this, and you've done a really good job on all this stuff. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but blah, blah, blah. And I invited him to join us. It was Shiv's last, like, hey, I have room on the ship. Join us. Come with us. See it in person. Like turn up for us. And he was like, oh, that sounds like a tempting offer, but you're right there, just about to go through the relay, so I can't really make it in time. And I was like, all right, fuck you then. And then when he asked, hey, I wanna keep it, I was like, nope. I gave you one last chance. I would have kept it if you were here. If you were here fighting alongside us, then sure, but no. The people that I love. These are co-workers. It's an interesting thing because it's co-workers, but to Shepard, I think this is almost like a found family thing because everyone is like loves Shepard so much, and Shep is a big fan of everyone individually.
Yeah.
And Shiv is like, nah, fuck you, I'm destroying it. And then, if you have Miranda on the team, Illusive turns around and is like, Miranda, do something. Like, make her see reason.
Shut
and Miranda
up.
is like, and then Miranda says, unfortunately, I don't fall under your command. My commander is telling me that we're destroying this, so I'm going to destroy it. And he's like, if you... It's something like, if you don't do this, then you're no longer part of Cerberus. And she says, I thought that was clear. You can consider this my resignation. And then hangs up.
That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot.
Sick.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Miranda. Yeah. All right. All right, good.
Yeah. Click destroy. Full sprinting away. You're like, Joker, did everyone make it? And then he says, all of the survivors are on board. If someone died, it cuts to a dead body.
Yeah.
Did you have any dead?
I did not.
I didn't either, baby. That's my fucking guy right there. That's my fucking guy right there.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. The reason why I brought this up, if you have under 2 defense types in the final stand, it goes on a list of people to die from Mordin, who is the most likely to die. Mordin Solus is the most likely to beef it. Then it goes Jack, Miranda, and then it like pecks along. Like, it's like,
oh, interesting.
Like,
I did look up a little bit about like how people die, but I didn't see that tip list.
And it's good because Mordin Solus has one of my favorite scenes in Mass Effect 3. And him dying, it would I called you and I was like, hey, you probably don't need it, but if you want a tip on how to do the final mission, I don't want to like force it too much, because I was like, Mordin is so good, and Mordin will die. He like has like such a high percentage. If you do anything wrong, he's the first one to go, and I'm like, that's so unacceptable to me. He's so fucking good.
I think I think that if I had played this on my own with no like looking up, I think that the place I would have failed is I probably wouldn't have known to do the upgrades, because they seem kind of background and like optional tasks. And also in Dragon Age, stuff like upgrades are always inconsequential, so I probably would have like upgrades are almost always like kind of aesthetic or atmospheric or like story based. So I think I probably would have missed that, and I definitely would have lost someone because of the timer reasons.
I absolutely have every time. Yeah.
In the actual like picking of your squad in the fight itself, the game does give you all the information you need to know about like who you should be picking. So that part doesn't seem, I guess. The part that it is hard is same with Veilguard, is like, if the person with the spec you need isn't someone whose loyalty mission you completed, then
it's tough.
That person is more likely to fail. And so then you either have to pick someone who doesn't have the spec and hope that they hold out, or choose the non-loyal spec and hope that holds out, and that's going to be tricky. So
and it's a cool thing as well, because the mission doesn't significantly change, but it makes it shifts a little bit if you don't pick people with specs. So for example, Jack has the biggest biotic barrier, and I think if you pick someone with a weaker biotics, it like shrinks over time. Like, as you're walking through, you start off with a really big barrier, and then the longer the fight goes on, it's shrinking down because they can't hold it as well. So you're like narrowed into fighting in a small thing.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That's cool.
Fucking. And then you're back on the Normandy. You have a conversation with the Elusive Man where he's like screaming and yelling at you.
He's so mad.
The sun in the background represents Shepard. Finally, at this moment.
So it's like a bright blue.
It's like a super bright blue, really cool. It's a really deep red if you're go full renegade. It's really cool.
Sure.
I picked all my renegade options for the Elusive Man, I said,
Yeah.
I'm not unwilling to work with you, but you can fall in line or step aside, because I'm coming
Yeah.
through anyway. And I was like, fuck yeah, Shep.
Fuck yeah.
This is so sick. Yeah. And then I said, Joker, lose this channel. And then Joker flicks the channel off, just like he did with the council in the first game. And then
Hell
you
yeah.
have one of the, I genuinely believe this, one of the greatest lead-ins to a third act
Oh,
ever.
totally.
Of hundreds and thousands of Reapers, like, falling out of dark space into current, and then it's like, this is Mass Effect 3, baby.
That's what
Mass Effect 3 leads into.
Terrifying.
Holy shit. Horrifying.
Because
Considering,
we
like...
just spent all this time fighting one not even yet alive Reaper.
Yeah, and Mass Effect 1, one Reaper destroyed the Citadel almost. You spend the whole game doing it, and then it's like, cool, we've fought one, and it's taken everyone working together and like 30 hours of gameplay to do it. Here's hundreds of thousands of them. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Which...
I'm fucking awful, scary, horrifying.
Yes. And there's something to be said about the difference in the escalation of the stakes in Mass Effect versus Dragon Age, because I feel like the way that this series has gone is it's the stakes for Shepard and for the universe just get bigger across each game. It's like it's a slow progression of like stakes feel big, now they're bigger,
and now
they're about to get enormous. Where Dragon Age is like Dragon Age Origins, huge stakes. Dragon Age 2, like kind of personal stakes.
More personal.
Dragon Age Inquisition, back to big stakes, and then Veilguard takes a big swing and is like the apocalypse for whatever. But it's like it's just a different kind of escalation.
It's just a different thing. This is and this is why it's interesting talking about Dragon Age when it comes to this, because Dragon Age is you're playing a different character, so the stakes have to be world-ending for each of those characters. This is big, Mass Effect 1. Oh, man, this is really crazy. Wow, Reaper? That's scary. That could be a really big, dangerous thing. Oh, no. Mass Effect 2, this is a human, this is human problems. Our beings, they're killing all the humans.
Right.
Then you have the stinger at the end, and it's like, oh, this is a finale. This is a final moments. Everything that you've been working toward, it's happening now, and this is the final act of the galaxy, basically. And it fucks. The coolest shit in the world. But yeah, that's Mass Effect 2, baby. How do you feel about it? How do you feel? It's Mass Effect 2. This finale is like one of my favorite final acts of a game. Like final missions, I think it's fucking amazing.
Everything from Joker's bit on is straight up brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant run. It's a brilliant and I think that what it really colored in for me, because we have mentioned it already, this final sequence is very much clearly what Veilguard was trying to do with their final sequence.
Yeah.
And I think Veilguard technically did pull it off. Like, we had a blast in that final
really
sequence.
Good.
It was
I
a
really
really
good
gameplay. The part that Veilguard missed was giving us enough quality writing about those characters that we were going to be relying on. And so it was exciting, but it was exciting, and I could see that it was a good mission, but it didn't give me the lead in that I needed to have to really be stressed out and care about who I was choosing to do what in the way that I needed to be, versus this, where they did give me all that. They gave me all of these very interesting and dynamic and like very striking characters who have very like complicated relationships to each other and to me, and like all of that, so that when I got there, it landed. The weight of the choices and stuff really landed. So it was like I could see all of the things that Veilguard pulled from this sequence in particular. It's the lead-in that they missed, is the build up to it that they missed. And so this was a really cool experience of a final game. It made me feel more, even though like the structure of the fight was so clearly the same as the end of Veilguard, what it felt like was that end fight in Origins, where you're running into your team in the streets and like you're seeing them fight. You're seeing the Templars like or the mages, I should say, like dwindle in numbers at the top of your screen, like as you're trying to it's
Absolutely.
got that like epic ending weight to it. It's a good final sequence, and it's really a good game start to finish. Whereas like Mass Effect 1 has kind of a slow start to get into with a really banging ending. Mass Effect 2 is good A to B.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Oh, I'm stoked that you like it.
Yeah, no, I do.
It's really cool. I love this final sequence. It's always referred to as as just one of the best final sequences in like a game. Like again, you're so right about the fact that you felt the like lead in is really powerful, because when you're like asking people to, here's the thing. Again, love the final sequence of the Veilguard. Hate how much is being brought up. It is very relevant now, but because the final sequence of the Veilguard, the Veilguard, like the personal, the like interrelationships of each person, because it's all very positive. When it's like, oh, who's going to lead this team? I'll be like, well, it doesn't really matter. They all like each other. Mm-hmm. But then this, when we mentioned it earlier, when Miranda is like, I want to lead the team, being like, I don't know how many people are going to like you leading. Yeah. Jack fucking hates you. Like, am I going to put Legion in charge of the next team? Like, Tally hates them, won't listen to them. But then that's not. It's like Garrus fought a bunch of Geth.
Is controversial. Yeah.
It has this whole thing of you're thinking about it. They stop becoming mechanics and start then becoming like, well, how are people going to feel if I put this one person in charge? How are people going to feel if I put Miranda in charge? How are people going to feel if I put Grunt in charge? Like, Grunt is this, like, was created out of all of these, like, Krogan warlords. He doesn't know how to lead, though. And he's not going to be able to lead fucking Thane or Mordin if they go with them, because their fight styles are so different to a Krogan's fight style. Garrus can do it because Garrus knows me and knows what calls I would make in those situations.
Yeah.
And then like and it also, it's fun because it switches up who you'd take with you normally. I wanted to take Garrus with me in this final confrontation, but I'm like, Garrus is actually better leading this team. Garrus is more suited to not being with me as I personally do this big, thing. It's people who it's, I don't know, but they become people and they become real. It's cool. It's a great final sequence. And then we're
really great.
And now we're into the finale of Mass Effect.
Gosh, that's so exciting.
We're into Mass Effect 3, baby. Now, everyone, I have a schedule for Mass Effect 3. I'm going to shoot through it really fast because it is going to be real long. This is going to be the longest we've stuck with a game, I think.
Fascinating. Okay.
Mass Effect 3 has a stupid amount of stuff to get through. So we are going to do it in the 3 acts of Mass Effect. Acts of Mass Effect 3, but we're breaking it up a lot. So the rules are side content, Citadel missions is as much as you like. Except for Priority Eden Prime, the DLC Omega, DLC Leviathan, and the DLC Shore Leave. They are all things that we're going to do on specific weeks. Act 1, prologue, which is, I guess minor spoiler alert, Earth. Earth, Mars, and then Priority Citadel. That is what we're doing next week, is the prologue, which is the on Earth. Then we're going to do the Priority Mission Mars, and then the Priority Mission, the Citadel. Priority missions are main missions. They're all called Priority. Then after that, week 2 is Priority Palaven, Priority Eden Prime, which is back to Eden Prime, and it is the first DLC. It is a DLC that is the most controversial DLC, but not because of its well, technically yes, because of its content, but also because it is the start of day 1 DLCs in video games. Priority Eden Prime is main game content that they coded into the game. They shipped Mass Effect 3, and then they took it out and then charged you $20 to get it.
Fascinating.
And the game doesn't make sense if you don't do Priority Eden Prime. It fucking sucks because it is...
Wow.
It's like a new crew member who is so fascinating. It's so thematic. You're going back to Eden Prime. It's a whole thing. Anyway, week 3, we're doing Grisham Academy, N7 Cerberus Lab, and then Priority Surkesh. And then, big, at the 4th week, which is the end of Act 1, we're doing all of Tuchanka. Big first.
Tuchanka.
At the end of Act 1, huge event that happens in Tuchanka. We're going to do all of Tuchanka. Then, Act 2, Priority Citadel 2. We're doing Masana, Distress Signal, Kalani, Ardat, and then week 3, we're doing the Omega DLC. Week 4, we're doing Priority Perseus Vale, Priority Geth Dreadnought. Week 5, all Rannoch. Another huge event that happens on Rannoch at the end of Act 2. Mass Effect 3, Priority Citadel 3, Priority Thessa, Priority Horizon. Week 2 is the Leviathan DLC. Week 3 of Act 3 is the Shore Leave DLC. Then we have an interesting one. Week 5 of Act 3, we are doing all side quests, finishing up everything that we want to, and we are doing the multiplayer, which I know you're not excited for, but we are doing all the multiplayer.
We're doing it.
We're going to do it with Viditia Valetti, who's made several appearances, but he's going to do the multiplayer with us, and then may join us for a conversation on it. And then we are doing and then on the 5th of September, not on the 5th of September, actually, the week after the 5th of September, I actually have that labeled wrong, thank God that I was just looking at it then. On the 12th of September, we are doing the finale of Mass Effect 3, and then we're finishing Mass Effect 3. So we're going to be done with Mass Effect 3 halfway through September.
That's exciting.
Big.
That's big.
But I'm fucking stoked for it. Mass Effect 3 is my favorite because I love finales, even though people have a lot of criticisms of Mass Effect 3.
Sure, I've heard. Well,
yeah.
I don't know what they are exactly, but I know that there is criticism.
Just minor writing things, but it's going to be really cool to talk about. It has the end of each act is this absolutely gargantuanly huge event that happens. It truly is the culmination of these past 2 games. We're going to see a bunch of people be interacting with so many people that we know before. I wanted to take a really long time to do Mass Effect 3 because it's the finale. So there is so much to dig into and so much to talk about. So some weeks we're only going to be playing like 2.5 hours of content. But then we're going to be able to talk about it, and we're going to be able to do other side stuff, and there'll always be interesting things to find out. It's my favorite. It's my favorite of the franchise. I love it so much, and I'm fucking excited.
I'm so excited
for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So next week we are going to be doing the prologue, and we're going to be going up to the first act, the first Citadel mission, rather, Priority Citadel.
Okay.
But until we do that, Dillin.
Yeah.
When would you next like to record this?
Can it wait for a minute? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Sure, absolutely.